The Los Angeles Rams are your 2021 NFL reigning, defending, undisputed Super Bowl champion.
Yeah. Congrats, Matt.
A lot has been made of a call that was made late in the game because the refs all game were keeping the flags in their pocket. There might have been a block in the back on a return that wasn't called that would normally be called. There might have been a couple holds, couple offsides, couple false starts that weren't called. It seemed like they were letting the boys play. And then towards the end there, the refs got excited. They said, oh shit, I haven't even gotten to the stat sheet. I haven't even got a chance to throw my flag because we've made no calls. Now let's go into the end of the game. There's hundreds and hundreds of millions of people watching. What about my family? What if they think that I can't throw a flag in the Super Bowl? Am I too scared? Now, bang, 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 bang. They start throwing everything.
Oh, yeah.
One particular call was made about a Wilson. Now, I'm not talking about Owen or Russell or Zach or any of the other Wilsons. I'm talking about a guy that we all knew for sure, Logan fucking Wilson. Yeah, double nickel, 55. This man was flying around for the Bengals last night, and they called him on a hold. That was clearly a bullshit call.
Yeah.
But did that not make up for Jalen Ramsey getting his face yanked to the ground for a touchdown on the first play of the second half? Now, you can always complain about calls. In that Logan Wilson call, complete bullshit. Jalen Ramsey getting tossed by his face, also bullshit. One happened in the beginning of the first half, or the second half. One happened at the very end of the game. So I could see how there's a little bit more of a spotlight. But whatever the case, you can't say that the Rams didn't deserve to win that game. You can't say, even with 2 turnovers from Matthew Stafford, shout out to everybody that bet on that. That felt like a pretty good. Matthew Stafford rolling to his left, extending a play, drawing up the play live on the fly. It's like, oh my God, this is Detroit Matthew. And then boom, Detroit Matthew throws a pick in the end zone. Yeah. Just 1 first down away from more points in a game than which you were losing. I mean, it is very, very fascinating, but that was going to happen. But whenever you sack a quarterback 7 times, 6 of them being in the second half, and this has been the Achilles heel for the Bengals for this entire playoff run. 9 times he was sacked against the Tennessee Titans. They still got to win. Everybody's talking about, oh, that's not that big of a conversation because they go on to beat the fucking Chiefs. And that defense locks up the clamps on Patrick Mahomes, and all of a sudden everybody's like, maybe Joey Burrow doesn't need an offensive line. Well, against that D-line in which we all thought they were going to dominate for all 4 quarters, they took their time, and in the second half, Von Miller is so fast.
Oh, my God.
He was coming up and under, and everybody was saying he wasn't in shape when he got to the Rams. He was playing for the Broncos from the beginning of the season. What does that even mean?
Yeah.
But it does. I do like the fact that Von Miller put out a tweet, said, hey, I told you I was coming back for you. He goes and gets it. And then we have to talk about the specimen who might be retiring, I'm learning.
Oh. Whoa.
What's that about?
Kid who drank the same waters that we drank, and then somehow he ended up much different than us. Aaron Donald, after 8 years in the NFL, is now a Super Bowl champion. His resume is filthy. His resume is ridiculous. Rookie of the Year, Super Bowl champ, 8-time Pro Bowler, 7-time first-team All-Pro, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. Thank you. 2010's All-Decade Team, 90-plus PFF grade every year, and we know they know the rules.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of doesn't matter.
Only 2 games missed, both not injury related. We'd assume Uncle COVID showed up in one of those, and maybe, who knows? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure what happened. We don't need to dive into it. To be honest, we did not 100% sure. But there was a time where he got his first sack where he sent Joey B, into the Gatorade. Now, there was a little bit of a to-do about it on the sideline because it was the Bengals sideline, which, by the way, I respect that they're sticking up for their guy. With that being said, he was like 3 yards inbounds still. That was just a standard tackle. That was standard Aaron Donald bullying a quarterback, which is what he is trained with knives to do, paid to do, studied to do, and the best to do. So them getting all upset about that, I think was a bad idea. Once they started putting their face on Aaron Donald's hand, or their hands on Aaron Donald's face, and started getting him pissed off, I don't know if you'd seen, I think it was a play later, a couple plays later, he did teach tape on what a bull rush is in the middle of the Super Bowl, in a time where they needed to put a fire out because Joe Burrow scores that touchdown. Then there's a pick. They get the ball out. They're going. He puts his hands underneath a 300-some pounder who has paid a lot of money to protect a quarterback, and he just marches him just like that on a field. Sack, how you doing? Fucking give me that. Then there's another play with a run where he gets the edge, sets the edge, and then with one hand fucking grabs the guy and stops him on like a 3rd and 1 or a 4th and 1 or something like that. He is an absolute specimen, and he gets the game ender. He's the game closer, obviously, where he forces the ball out of Burrow's hands too quick. He's not able to make it. They're Super Bowl champs, and he says, fucking ring me. I mean, McVay might be retiring, or is he using this all for leverage because he's underpaid, because he's only 36 years old, so they paid him shit to give him his first head coaching opportunity? He said yes. There's so much conversation about who's done, who's not. I hope they're all back, because that fucking Rams team yesterday was awesome. Matthew Stafford, when he was traded in Cabo, Mexico. All right, if you remember Jay Glazer.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Drew Brees.
Rosie Tedison broke up with him.
Yeah, she did.
I'm sure she's a nice person. But that broke his goddamn heart.
Yeah.
Crushed him.
Jay Glazer was sitting in solitude in Arizona after getting a breakup. Andrew Whitworth, who was down with Sean McVay in Cabo, said, hey, Jay, why don't you come join us? Why don't you come visit us? Why don't you come down here, get away, so you need to be with people? And Jay said, no. Then he followed up the next day, hey, why don't you come join us? And Jay said, you know what, I will. Sean McVay said, cancel the fucking bird. Yep. Jay Glazer's come down here and needs me. I'm sticking around. That same day, when he was supposed to leave, Matthew Stafford comes to the plaza, the resort, the casa. They start talking. They start meeting each other. Oh, my God, I love you. Let's trade away fucking everything to get you to the Rams. This might be a drunk decision in Cabo. There's been a lot of those that have been made that have ended up very poorly. But in this particular case, at the time, there was people around the NFL saying that the Lions won the trade. Whoa. They won. The Detroit Lions won the trade. That was something that was happening. People were telling me I was an idiot for saying the things that I was saying about Matthew Stafford. And obviously that propaganda machine, Dan Orlovsky, where he talks about every quarterback, but one of them definitely was Matthew Stafford, had a nice little narrated piece on ESPN about, knowing that Matthew Stafford is at another level and the rest of the world not really understanding it. People were saying that whenever Detroit picked up the $100 million Jared Goff contract because they got other picks, they won the trade. Matthew Stafford is just a guy who pads his stats. He's just this, he's just that. In his first year with Sean McVay, there were some ups, there were some downs, but in the end, Matthew Stafford made a play that Jared Goff could never, ever fucking make, not only against Tampa Bay, where he took the soul in the career out of Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, but also a no-look pass to perfection on the game-winning drive. When he needed a touchdown, he actually got 2 of them. Because there was another one he got that got called back for offsetting penalties or whatever the case was. And a lot of people are going to talk about Logan Wilson. Nonetheless, when Matthew Stafford, on the biggest stage, with all the anxiety and pressure, had to go score, he did. And that'll never get talked about by the people that are Matthew Stafford haters, but all those people are probably awfully quiet this morning. At Evan Foxy, you had to have quite a time as a Detroit Ram member up there in Detroit, pal.
Well, don't call us the Detroit Rams, because for me to say, that felt like a Lions W would be completely wrong. To be honest, I sit here today, and this sounds terrible, but I thought I would be a little bit happier.
No, Lions still stand.
Because it's disappointing, right? I watched this guy for 12 seasons in Detroit. I defended him for 12 seasons in Detroit because I knew he was this good. I knew he was capable of just getting us a fucking playoff win, let alone a Super Bowl. Finally, he gets traded. He has to be out. He does everything right for Detroit and their fans. Gets out, has a team around him, has a coach, has a running game, has a defense, has an O-line. Finally has all this. First season, fucking wins the Super Bowl. Just add this to the list of shit on why the Detroit Lions are fucking cursed.
Yeah. Congrats to Matthew.
Congrats, Matthew.
It was
just
awesome
real quick, though, for all the other quarterbacks out there that are maybe thinking about, on the fence.
Yeah.
Peyton leaves, wins the Super Bowl. Tom leaves, wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford leaves, he wins the Super Bowl. It seems like there is just a little bit of a pattern.
The grass is green out there sometimes.
Seems like sometimes when the grass gets watered on the other side, much more than it's being watered on your particular side of the fence, whenever you go to that side of the fence, it's like, holy shit, this grass smokes much better than the grass that we've been smoking this entire time. It is time now. Matthew Stafford is a Super Bowl champion, AJ. He was traded out of the NFC North. He finally spoke up after a dozen years. He said, in my bacon dozen, or Baker dozen year. I'm not doing the same shit I did the last 12 years. I need to get out of here. Nothing but love for all of you. Another turnover, another failure. I need to get out of here. What are you going to do? Boom. He goes to Cabo, meets with McVay in a hot tub, then a pool, then Andrew Whitworth, the Walter Payton Man of the Year, 40-year-old plus left tackle, first ever to play in a Super Bowl. There's only 2 other 40-year-olds that have played in a Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl. They're both quarterbacks. He's doing it at left tackle. The party then went to his room, which was a suite. He was having a good time. McVay and Matthew Stafford party. They make the trade happen. They're going all in. Then they bring in Von Miller. Then they bring in Odell Beckham Jr. And at all of these times, people were saying they were bringing in distractions, aside from Von Miller. Now, Von Miller seemed to get pretty positive, but nobody really thought that this was going to work out because this is not what NFL teams normally do. Now, in the past couple years, teams have done this and won, but a lot of people thought in LA, all these personalities, people thought that Detroit won the trade when they picked up Jared Goff's $100 million contract and inevitably sucked.
Yeah.
They won the trade at the time, everybody says. The Rams are now the champions. The future is in doubt for a lot of their players, McVay included in the coaching department, Aaron Donald. But how pumped are you for them? And how excited are you for the NFL in the future that when Peyton left, he got the keys to the building, he won a Super Bowl in Denver. Tom leaves, he gets the keys to Tampa Bay, he wins a Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford goes to Los Angeles, they go all in around him, he wins the Super Bowl. This is going to change the NFL, I think, AJ. This is going to change a lot of things.
Yeah, you would think for some of these vet QBs. I know Russell Wilson already has a Super Bowl ring and played in another. But if Russ goes somewhere else and ends up getting a ring like in the first year, then that would put, this thing gets in motion again and again. Yeah, I don't know if they're setting like the tone for something that we could see a lot of quarterbacks do, but it's worked out for the guys that have done it so far.